Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and the Degenerates, and as we mentioned before, if you didn't know, folks, we are Filipino, born and raised.
Kamusta sa mga
Mabuhay.
lahat? Mabuhay, Philippines.
But yes,
No,
well,
shut up.
God, what's wrong with us? Why are we like this? Anyway, for this week at least, since it's our Independence Week, leading up to it at least, we're going to be talking about some Filipino movies. Sorry.
Man, you can't even speak Tagalog or English.
Sorry. But yeah, seriously, since family is very important to Filipinos, we decided to talk about this family movie first, which is Seven Sundays.
And it doesn't have fast car, for once.
Yes.
Actually, no, there is one car I would like to point out. Two cars, but like, that's it. Anyway, carry on.
Bryce car?
Hmm?
Is that Bryce car or?
Nah. What's the name of the girl again? Christine Reyes' character. Yeah, her car. Anyway, one.
But yeah, this story is about a dad who, in the beginning, he lives alone, and it's his birthday, and he's hoping his children come home to celebrate with him.
No, oddly enough, he's not really alone. He does have his like nephew as like a helper, to have him taken care of.
But yeah, one by one they say, "Oh, sorry, we can't make it for various reasons." Like, I
have a meeting, and
Bryce in Singapore. Alan's like, my wife is expecting soon, so you have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, she was spotting and stuff. And same with Christine Reyes' character. I keep forgetting her name. Cha? Yeah. She also had like a meeting, or what was her job again in this movie?
She didn't really say. She said, "I have an important client. Like in what?"
Yeah.
And then we find out that he was the captain of the barangay, and they're like, "Oh, at least my coworkers like me. Celebrate with me."
Oh yeah, that was the hardest thing to watch because sure, it was nice to see that a lot of people cared besides his family, because he was a pretty big shot in his barangay, pretty much, which is like a little town for everyone who is outside of the country. And yeah, like everybody knows him. The priest even greets him a happy birthday. And later on, we find out that, hey, the reason why this movie is called Seven Sundays was because he just found out that he only has 6 months to live because of throat cancer.
Yeah. Oh no, lung cancer.
Lung cancer, sorry about that. He gets a call from his doctor visits him on his birthday and pretty much gives him the bad news that he only has 6 months. I was like, man, you could have waited after the birthday.
Right.
But okay. Horrible timing, doctor, but thank you for giving us
just wait 2 days and like, oh, by the way, we have cancer. I wanted to wait till after we celebrated.
And this is the part where we start to fully get like introduced to the characters.
Yeah.
Where they start getting text message like, hey, did you see the text message from dad? And the majority of them, besides the daughter, Chat, she was the one who pretty much like read the text, the only one who read the text. And she was like calling all of the brothers. It's like, hey, did you read the text? And it was like, all of them didn't read the text.
Yeah.
They all had to call each other just to see what was the big news that the dad had to text.
Yeah. And then they're like, don't you want to get a second opinion? And he's like, no, I'm fine.
This is like, for me, this is the coolest dad. Like, you see him at the start of the movie. I love Ronaldo Valdez here. Like, you see him, he's just like, he had a kick on his step. He was happy. I thought he found out he had cancer.
Yeah.
But even though after he found out he had cancer, the man was kind of ready. He was like, I don't want to prolong this.
Yeah, I just want to spend time with my family, because when your mom left, it was too sudden. It was too quick. We didn't really get to say goodbye, and I want to spend as much time as I can with you guys.
Yeah. And, like, you gotta love how he deals with it as well. It's like, I don't want to spend all of the rest of my days in hospital the man is dying at 69.
Hey,
Nice, but also not so
no,
nice
no,
that
no,
he's
not so nice.
dying.
Yeah,
But I mean, the man took it like a champ, though. He's like, don't give me this, don't give me that. Like he was accepting like unhealthy food like crispy pata and like yambo
yeah,
when his middle child, uh, Bryce,
Brian.
right, was pretty much trying to keep him alive as best as he could.
Yeah, and you kind of get the dynamic of the family and the tensions that are there because Alan's like, let's just let Dad do what he wants to do, and Brian's like, yeah, that's what I've been doing all my life. In case you haven't
So,
noticed.
yeah, and like, hey, I want to take care of him. I want to keep him around. Like, him and Chow were like, we want to, keep you.
Yeah,
I don't want you to die yet. But Alan and
Dex.
Dex, yeah. Um, Also, if you didn't notice, the reason why the store was called ABC, he named it after his kids because they all start with like ABC letters.
Yeah,
And D was kind of left out, which was the entire plot of D.
yeah, yeah. And throughout this movie, you do find out that the siblings have secrets of their own. Because he's Alan, the ABC is going bankrupt. With Cha, she's in a bad relationship, and Dex, he's on the run. Brian,
yeah.
he has a kid that he never got to be a father for.
Yeah, he pretty much left before the kid was born, so he never got to see it for
Yeah.
19 years. How crazy is that?
Right? And then they decide like, hey, we're only free every Sunday, conveniently enough. So we'll try to make up for you with your delayed birthday surprise. And Jun's trying to stall him like, wait, I need to take a shit, please.
Which is unheard of, in my opinion. I guess it happens in Laguna, which was where this movie was filmed.
I guess.
Yeah, like, I guess you could just go to somebody's house and was like, hey, we're part of the community. Can I take a share in your place? I'm
Like,
what?
I can do that to my neighbors. They'd be like, no, go.
I mean, like, if it's like my friend's house, sure, but I can't just be like coming out of church and be like, hey, I held this in for 1 hour of mass. I need to take a shit. Can I borrow your bathroom?
Right?
But anyway, let's
Uh,
not contemplate on that weird
no, no.
plot line.
And they're trying to prepare, and obviously, what's his name? Manalo is like, yeah, you've been acting weird all morning. What's going on? He's like, oh, we have a birthday surprise. He's like, oh, it's not a
Yeah,
surprise anymore, is it?
Before that, like, this is our first time seeing the siblings like fully interact with each
Yeah.
other. This is the time where they're like, oh, here we go. Besides, him giving them the bad news stuff, like,
Yeah,
I have cancer. This is where we see that Brian is kind of like a snobby, rich guy who kind of looks down on his little brother
yeah.
and older brother.
Wait, I mean, they all look down on poor Dex.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
For
He's like,
Dex.
can I get the cake? And Brian's like, what? So you can drop it? Like, I'm not a kid. And then Charles like, yes, you are. Like,
No,
wow.
but
You're not
I love
helping.
it. I gotta give it, like, Enrique Hill didn't have a lot of lines in this movie, but
Yeah.
he gave like this vibe of like, just to say, I'm also the bunso, which is the eldest of the family. Um, he kind of acted the same way I would react when of course, when I was younger, my siblings would be like, "No, don't do the big stuff. You're gonna fuck it up," And you're like, "Okay, I'll just stay back here." He did
Yeah.
that face a lot. He was like, he didn't
Yeah.
like fight back. He didn't like say anything back. He just like, just a face of disbelief, like, asshole, but okay.
Motherfucker. And then even Alan's like, see, your shirt's all full of holes. And he's like, wow, cool, yeah, thanks.
Hey man, it was 2017. Yeezys were hot. Tattered look was cool. Kanye was a thing.
But yeah, during the party, you also see like the dynamic between Alan and Bryce and their father, because he's like, hey, Dad, here's some crispy pata. And then
Yeah.
he's like, no. Bryce's like, no, only fruits, because he's dying, for fuck's sake. So only healthy stuff.
Yeah, but like at the same time, I felt bad for the dad. He was like, "Well, when I eat pork," but like, yeah, I kind of get where he's coming from though. Like, oh, I kind of want to keep that a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like he's gonna go, so just let him enjoy it.
Yeah.
But of course, the dad compromises. Like, I'll eat both. Don't worry about it. And they get into like this basketball game because the party was kind of getting boring. This was the point where it was like, I related with Enrique Hill's character so much.
Also, we find out that Bry spoils Alan's oldest son with stuff, and Alan's like, "Well, I can't provide that for my son."
Oh yeah, yeah. Like Alan has kids.
Yeah.
Well, Brian doesn't, and every time he meets up with them, he always buys them these shoes, the most trendiest shoes, because he's a rich entrepreneur now.
Yeah.
Well, Alan like manages the sari store that his father built.
Yeah.
Or
It's really
convenience.
old-timey sari store too, because it's like, wow, I haven't seen these things in a while.
You haven't seen the sari store?
No, I mean,
that's
I've
not
seen
bad.
the items. Like, I haven't seen Punch Boards in a while.
Okay, I guess you go to Landers, huh? Or like SNR, you rich.
I haven't been to the
You rich,
Oh,
but
I haven't been there for a while.
I guess-
I don't know. What? What? Oh,
Okay.
I guess
Man.
they are there, but like, I guess I'm blind.
privilege.
Shut up.
Man, I ate the fudgy bar in front of you yesterday.
Oh, so that's what it was. I forgot what they look like. It's been a while. It's been a while. Anyway.
Oh,
But yeah, that
you see the divide of the classes.
appropriate since we're talking about Filipino movies, I
Mm.
guess. But no, during the basketball game, you see how much the tensions do rise between Alan and Brian. Yeah, but
Oh my god. Like they were comparing each other the entire time. And like there's the point where like Enrique Hill's character there's the point I related to Enrique Hill's character Dexter where they would play basketball and he would be like, I'm open. Nobody passes it to him. I was like, this is giving me war flashbacks. This is why I don't play basketball, by the way.
same here.
One of the reasons why I don't play basketball. It wasn't really my sport to begin with, but at the same time, when people tried to introduce me to it, they weren't really the best teachers.
But yeah,
But yeah, I felt bad for Dexter here, and there's when tensions started to rise.
it's like, oh, I'm sorry, mister, I'm always right. I guess I'll just follow your lead. And Alan's like, yeah, he's the rock star. He's like, why is this about me? What's your problem?
Yeah, I mean, he's the one with the Land Cruiser here, fuck.
Right.
And I will mention, since we're talking about cars now, he comes in a Land Cruiser. The one that shocks me, though, is Chat coming in with an SIR. A fully tuned SIR. And I was like, what? It's the Civic with, like, the black Civic. And I was like, that shit's decked out. What the fuck? She drives that? That car is very expensive now, by the way.
Alright.
Shit appreciated. Anyway, enough of the car.
But yeah, the dad like brings out two knives. It's like, you know what? If you want to kill each other, go ahead. But if you're gonna come here every Sunday to fight, don't even bother, because I won't stand for it. And
Yeah, when I'm really old and I'm about to die and this shit happens, I'm writing that down. like I'm keeping that. Take out two giant knives when siblings are arguing. Got it.
Yeah, and then later on that night, Jun is like he wants to be left alone. I guess he'll die alone anyway. And they're like, what the fuck? Okay.
Oh yeah, Juju would do the most like crazy ass like shit. Or like, whoa, that was not really. It's not uncalled for, but it was like, whoa,
Like you're not
dude's
wrong.
ballsy. No, the dude's ballsy.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if he said that, all four of them would have come at him. And be like, you son of a bitch. But nah, dude was making points. And I was like, whoa. And then he kind of like shut up the entire room.
Yeah.
Good on that guy. Good on you, Ketchup. Yes, the actor's name is Ketchup.
Oh well. But yeah, they decided to make it up for him, and they decided to go do a trip to the funeral parlor for some reason. So I do like
Again.
the argument.
Pretty cool, Dad. The man brings his kids and be like, "Okay, at my coffin." It was kind of like the ending of Irishman, just
Yeah.
not as sad.
Yeah. But before that, I do like the argument between all of them. Like, let's take my car. No, my car. No, let's take the Jeep. Okay, let me drive it. And I was like, no, Brian, you can handle it. I can handle it. And Dex is like, I can drive it. No.
I feel that text like every time. All the siblings just look at him and they're like, it's like, what the fuck? Just let him do it. God damn.
Yeah, and Brian's like, what? We'll get into an accident. And then I was like, wag na. We're like, oh, okay, then.
Uncalled for shit for the bunso. Like, y'all are assholes for that. As a fellow bunso, fuck you guys.
And then ultimately, just like, give it to me. I'll fucking drive it.
Yeah, she's the one who drives the SIR, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He picks his own coffin and he asks them to give a eulogy. And they're like, but what?
You're not dead yet. I was like, yeah, I want to hear it before I die. What's the purpose of it if I'm dead and I can't hear it?
I want the funeral to be at my house, not the funeral home. Like, but Dad, you're not making sense. We want to enjoy the time we have with you right now, rather than when you're dead. Please, this is the first time we've agreed on anything together.
Yeah.
So, just let us have this, please.
Yeah, and of course, the dad kind of wanted to put that on his in his funeral. Please don't. If I ever die, don't put Baduts in my funeral, unless it's a really good joke. Then go ahead. But other than that, don't.
I'll talk to Edwin about it.
Okay. I'm loving that you guys are gonna surpass me. The thought of that you guys are gonna surpass me.
We also find out that ABC is being bothered by this Korean manager who has a supermarket across. It's like, this is my new parking lot. You should consider selling your store to me.
Yeah, I'm surprised they had that Jag as well in front.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Jaguar. And I was like, whoa! I am surprised you kept that thing alive.
Yeah, and then you find out during a bonding session with the siblings, like, oh, see all these pictures? These are memories. And Dex is like, they're like, Dex, come here. Where's your picture? And he's like, I don't have any. And then the only pictures they have, like, oh, look, it's baby. You're like, oh, right.
Again, I relate with Dex. I am looking at the pictures right now. I do not have a picture.
A current picture? Okay. And then as they're bonding, Manala gets a phone call from Doc, and he's like, hey, guess what? It's just TB. He's like, oh no.
Goddamn lumbago. Sorry. But yeah, we just find out that like the tests were wrong, and they found out that it's just TB, and Manalo is just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
What do I tell the kid? And he turns around and he just sees them bonding. Like, finally perfectly bonded now. They're like, there's no fighting, there's no arguments, there's no one-upping each other. I was like, he didn't want to let that go, and they would visit every week.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I already see this. Well, I already see where this is going. He's not gonna tell them.
Yeah.
Or probably tell them after the 6 weeks. And yeah, he keeps it a secret. And just rolls with like, oh, I'm still sick. Let's go to the beach next week.
Yeah. And then he's so energized in the beach playing with his grandkids that June's like, hey, aren't you supposed to be sick?
He's like, look like you're dying, look like you're dying.
Thankfully, Manala's a good actor. She's like, oh, I'm tired. Please get me a chair.
Yeah. And like, again, Dexter would like immediately go into action, and Brian's like, oh, he's already doing it. Good job.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the first compliment you ever gave him. And I was like, you asshole. I don't like Brian here. I'm sorry. Sure, say what you will.
I like
but the dude's an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, Alice. Sorry. Sorry, the fact that it's played by what's his name again? Aga. Yeah. The ice cream man. Like every time they mention ice cream, they all look at him. Like if anybody's outside this country, the guy who's playing Alan in this movie, if I ever choose to watch his Filipino movies, he's in every like Nestle ice cream commercial with his family in this country, like for probably
years.
How many years? his family's been the poster boy of ice cream and Jollibee.
I imagine he earned a lot from that though.
Oh fuck yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But he has acting chops though.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Dude can act.
Yeah. I then wonder, eating lunch, like you learn that, child can make the noodles that their mom used to make, and Dex also took the money that Brian gave him for the thesis and followed the girl to Macau. And Brian points that out, and Child's like, "Hey, let's be positive, you fucking asshole."
Yeah, you gotta love how chat was like, "Oh hey, positive." Yeah, because this is the thing with Brian, and this is why I don't like this character. I can't say what you will. Like, oh, he couldn't raise his kid or couldn't see his kid when he was 19. Like, he fucked up.
Yeah.
And when he got a kid when he wasn't ready. Fuck you. Again, not antagonizing the actor Ding Dong Dante's act, where it's mostly the character, where he would just do uncalled for insults.
Yeah.
Or like he strikes in deep.
Yeah.
He makes it personal immediately. I'm like,
yeah,
this is a horrible character. I don't like him.
It's like, it's not like smooth date. You're like, that's funny. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're having a nice day out in the beach, and you're like, oh, you're an idiot for treating a girl to Macau. Like, you know the context of why he did it, though.
Yeah, like, it would be like this, we're having fun, and then he would say something, everybody's like, whoa, fuck, man. But yeah, anyway.
Though, it doesn't also help that he keeps, like, ignoring his will they, won't they get together, like, oh, you're just ignoring your secretary now. Even though she's pointing out...
I don't know what's happening with the secretary.
I know, right?
They never cleared up what was going on with him and his secretary. Like, were they actually a thing? Were they not?
Did he end up with children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is this the girl he's gonna end up with?
Manila brings in a game, kind of a game, where it's like, hey, the letters you used to write as kids, let's read them out and guess who wrote them. And obviously, the person being like, I can't wait for Prince Charming is Cha. And
yeah, those
guy
are not this one.
Being like, we made 1,000 pesos. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because he's good at math.
Yeah. And then Alan's like, the letter from Alan's like, hey, we won a breakdancing contest.
Yeah, because he did.
Mark's like, that's obviously Tito Brian. And then he's like, nope, that's your dad.
Yeah. And no, then we get to Dexter's like, I'm lonely. I was like, fuck, man, you got the bad end of the deal in this family. I'm so sorry.
Like, I want an ice cream party, but no one's here.
Yes. And, like, Enrique just has his face like,
yeah.
You all left to me.
Alan's like, let me make up to you. For your birthday, we'll have an ice cream party.
Yeah, and I think this is the first scene that made me like, oh, I started to like tear up a bit. I was like, because it was like, dear dad, I miss you. And everybody's wondering, I was like, yeah, it's me. And everybody's like, no, it's me. No.
Alan's like, it's just, I miss you. It's probably me.
Yeah, it could be anybody. It's just, I miss you. And he's like, you're all wrong. It's from your mom. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
By the way, she's dead.
Yeah.
You all haven't caught up.
Yeah. And then you see the reaction from everyone like, oh, for Dex, because he's literally the most affected one. Because like later on, you're like, when she died, it's like you all died with her.
Now that's a scene for later.
Yeah. And then they have a selfie, a fan feed. That's the first time I've heard of it.
Same here. I was like, what the fuck is a fan feed?
Also, I don't know why trans kids call him Tatay Lolo. Like, that's weird.
Like, yeah, it's like daddy, grandpa.
Yeah.
If it were to be translated. I don't know.
Yeah.
We just called him Lola.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
And then, this is a scene that touched me because Manal's like, hey, to Dex, like, where are you going? He asks, Dex asks his dad, like, I'm going out to take my youngest for some ice cream, if he'll let me. He's like, oh.
Again, a little bit of acting chops to Enrique Hill. Like, when he got to the ice cream, dude looked like a kid just ready to, like, pick whatever he wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's nice.
But that's when we meet Mr. Kim, and that's when the dad finds out that, like, oh, the store
They're
that I
bankrupt.
put up with your mom is bankrupt. And Alan's like, just don't tell Bry. I haven't even paid him for his last loan. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, shit. And he does it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but later on, Alan and his wife get to the hospital and they meet up with a doctor that told Manala that, hey, it's just TB.
Yeah.
It's not a cancer.
Like when they're in the hospital, I'm like, why are we here? And then the doctor walks into them. Oh, fuck.
It was like, oh no! It's like, how's your dad? It was like, oh, he's doing fine. We're taking care of him. Oh, that's great. Because it's just TB.
Yeah.
It was like, it's what?
Huh? Does that mean that? And then he confronts his dad. He's like, I saw Tita. Which Tita? Doc.
The doctor.
Like,
And this was like probably the healthiest reaction from the eldest, where he's like, instead of like getting mad, he hugged him. He was like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
yeah.
Because he was more happy to find out that his dad's still gonna have like probably 2 more decades before he leaves.
Yeah. And he's like, I was just afraid that you all never visit me again and you'll never get along again. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry you feel that way, but at the same time, that's unfair to us because fuck, we're so worried about you all the time.
yeah, exactly. And but it still hurts me that is his not excuse, but that is the reason why he's lying. Is that you guys are finally getting along after a long time not seeing each other. And if I tell you now, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, he's fine. I can go back to doing what I do."
Yeah.
And of course, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And then we find out that Dex, because he was hiding from people, and then his childhood friend,
Love-
I would say, love interest
Yeah.
question mark.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I'll distract them, but you have to tell me what's going on. He's like, there's this festival that never pulled through, and I sold the tickets, and now they're hunting me down because they can't find the producer.
Just very unfair.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could take that to court. You could have asked your dad, "Hey, do you have a good lawyer?" Like you could have just done that instead of being like the fugitive.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Dad, you're the captain of the barangay. Do you know anyone?
Yeah, don't you know any lawyers?
Yeah.
They're like good.
Right?
Maybe Brian can actually help me with this one.
Yeah. But for the sake of the movie, that's not going to happen. And then,
Yeah, they can't think reasonably. They need the
guess.
drama.
and then his love interest is like, hey, it's your sister's car. And then it's Shah's husband with a college girl. Go figure.
Yeah, and of course you painting people with the civics as fuck boys. It ain't a good stigma for a civic, boys. I don't have a civic. I was supposed to, but like,
And then he confronts him and knocks him down and walks away. You're like, oh, that's well
deserved.
Yeah. Even the girl's like, you have a wife? What the fuck?
It's like, yeah.
But the dad does call Brian, and they have this. I do like this conversation between Alan and Brian, where it's like, I'm going to help you out with the loans. And later on, Mark comes home, and then he tells Mark, hey, I got you your new shoes, and Alan's like, okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. And like, this is why we found out like why he spoils his like niece and nephews all the time. Is that he actually has had a kid, but he had a kid at the wrong time, and the wife left him. Oh, sorry, the girl left him to go to the U.S. and he pretty much worked his way for 19 years. The man was 19 and turned 38.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I can do that. And we're like, Alan, being a very nice guy, he was like, why not tell me you want to meet up? They're in the Philippines.
Yeah. Like, nothing mends a heart more than a sincere apology. You will never know unless you try.
Yeah,
Like, again,
you'll
Alan's,
never know if you don't try.
his, wisdom, his words are like, oh man, that's hitting me.
Oh, yeah. I love this acting here. I love the character of Alan here.
Yeah.
The man's like, yeah, he's down on his luck and sure he needs so much help, but at the same time, the dude's not an asshole like Brian.
Again, like what we pointed out in everything everywhere at once. Like, you can be down in your luck, but you don't have to be so fucking jaded.
Yeah, he's here. He's not jaded. Sure,
Yeah.
he's in reality, but the man was so hopeful.
Yeah, yeah. And things are looking up, question mark, until Alan does point out, like, hey, this Saturday, we're sleeping over. It's the best time.
Yeah,
Tell everyone.
like, yeah, to finally tell everybody. And later on, they're there. They're setting up the house, and they already had dinner. They're cleaning up, and they're all about to go to sleep.
Like, it's like 40 minutes left. We're like, when is this car crash going to happen?
Exactly. So I was like, I guess it's never gonna happen. I guess this movie's gonna resolve healthily.
Yeah. And then Dex confronts Chaz, like, I saw your husband. He was with someone. Why are you letting him do this to you? She's like,
Exactly.
you don't understand. He's a good dad. We're like,
Oh yeah.
man.
Yeah, and of course, it kind of shows that like Chad doesn't have any self-respect for herself.
Yeah.
Sure, she's doing it for the kids, but I was like, man, you could still do it for the kids and pick a better relationship.
Yeah. And then Dex goes back upstairs. Wrong timing, because June's like, hey, why don't you tell them you're not sick? Like, I'm just scared. And Dex is like, oh, that's a revelation.
At the same time, Brian finds out that Dexter is running away from the law.
And out of all the people he sold tickets to, it's the son of his boss. He's like, hey, we want to sue.
Like, what were the odds?
Yeah. Right?
Like, legit, what were the odds
And
of
Brad's
that happening?
like, what the fuck happened? It's like, sells the same stuff. Like, I didn't know it was a scam. It's like, why didn't you check then? It's like, I just told us an event.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how can you not? Like, how are you supposed to know? You're a kid trying to get a gig and trying to make money. Of course, you're taking every opportunity that's given to you.
Yeah.
And of course, Brian's like, why didn't you check? Why did you double check? Man, you're telling me solutions after the.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, help me out here. Get me a fucking lawyer and, like, be an adult about it.
Yeah.
Instead of antagonizing the kid who
It's
didn't
like-
know any better.
Well, your ignorance doesn't make you innocent, just makes you stupid. Like, wow, thanks, Kuya.
Exactly. I was like, this man is not helping at all.
Yeah.
Like, again, I don't like him. He doesn't redeem himself either.
Yeah. And then Dax is like, alright, we're here again. You all left me. I'm the one at fault. I'm the baby who never matured. And, like, I didn't have any other family aside from, what's her name? Ira.
Yeah, the girl who went to Macau
Yeah.
with him, and he was like, oh, where is she now? I was like, motherfucker, where were you?
Right? It's like, you were married to your job. Alan and Cha had kids and were married. I was left behind. And Dad had barangay duties.
Yeah. And it was like, yeah, it was all the cards were against Dexter here. It was like, and then Brian has this whole speech of like, I have a son. I haven't seen him. I had to do my work. To all the parents who were like, who had to go through that, it's so understandable. But this character is the worst representation of that. I swear to you, this man is justifying him being an asshole to his eldest brother, the youngest sister, and the youngest son. This man is so horrible as a character. I like this. Like, this is not a good representation of parents who had to sacrifice their time with their kids to make sure they had a comfortable life.
And then
It's
Dex
just
says the thing that, like, really pulls on your heart. He's like, when mom died, it's like you all died. I know one else. And then Cha tries to intervene. He's like, no, let's talk about your problem. Your husband, her husband's right here. And I was like, nah.
United States of Tagaytay.
Yeah.
That's when I found out it was in Laguna, because they're very close to Tagaytay. I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
But first I was like, nah,
Burn?
he's not here, isn't he? Is he, Cha? Son of a bitch.
Yeah, like Alan being the big brother is like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And of course, Dex is like, don't worry, I already did it.
Like, don't worry. She lets him get away with it. Like, oh. And he's like, what the fuck? From day one, we're like, don't marry that guy. He just seems like an asshole.
Yeah, and I will say there were flaws in Chaz's character as well, where every time Dex would like try to defend himself, finally, stand up for himself. She was like, stop talking back to him. I was like, but he's the asshole.
Yeah, because Brian was like, stop fucking your life and stop fucking other people's lives. Like, fuck you.
Exactly. There's a whole lot of fuck yous in this scene. I was like, wow.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, this movie's actually kind of grown up with the whole lot. And they're also doing this whole trope of like, once the family starts to resolve their problems, of course they're shouting, and they have to be outside of the house in a circle.
Yeah, and then no one's like, I hope Cap's okay.
Yeah.
But Charles like, he's a good father, and I don't want Dad to worry because he's sick. And Dad's like, he's not sick. And Brian's like, shut up. Like, no, he really isn't sick. Shut up. What?
What? Shut the man. Like, yeah, the man was like, fuck. And I am happy they didn't give him lines in this one.
Yeah.
I'm really happy they didn't give Manalo like way of like him trying to defend himself. The man was just shocked and was like too scared to even admit what he was doing. Sure, there is a valid reason why he did it, but at the same time, it was very wrong.
Yeah. And Alan's
Very
like,
wrong. Like faking. Sure, he thought he had cancer, but faking it
after the fact. Like,
after the fact is very bad.
Yeah. And then Alan's like, oh, wait, you don't understand. And then Brian's like, wait, did you?
This is yeah.
Did you
This is
call me
why.
after you found out?
Yeah, like, oh, you used me to fund the Sari Sari store,
Yeah.
and you made it like as if like, oh, I feel bad that doesn't have much time. I have to,
Yeah.
carry on the legacy of the store.
And then Alan's like to Manal's like, Dad, I thought I told you, don't ask Brian because I hate feeling like a charity case all the time.
Yeah, the man's down on his luck, so
Yeah.
I get it. Like you do want to have that sense of achievement of like I built this on my own without the help of anybody else. I was like, yeah, we all want that.
Yeah.
We don't like being hand me down. It's our culture here in the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, we also love helping and giving.
Yeah.
But we're
True.
very prideful creatures.
It's a weird thing, honestly.
It is a conundrum.
Yeah, yeah. And then Brian does this reason like, I sacrificed so much. Why am I always the bad guy? And then he leaves.
Yes, you are. You are a piece of shit who calls out people for no fucking reason. Yeah, anyway, enough of my spiel with, my
Right.
grudge with Brian.
And then they all leave, and Manal's like, oh, well, wish I really did have cancer now. Like,
Yeah. That is a tough life.
And then thankfully, Chag does get rid of her husband. And then she does, she's like, oh shit, I'm all about
And the
self.
Civic.
Yeah, and the Civic.
That was the true tragedy.
And then Alan and Mark have this nice moment where Alan's like, I know you idolize your Tito Bri. And Mark's like, yeah, I idolize him, but you're my dad and I love you. Like, okay.
Alright.
Yeah. It's like,
Damn, that. But he, of course, he was they like had to ponder on that fact of like, should I have been a good, responsible dad and gone to another country, saved up enough for you to be comfortable, but leave you and not be there for you, not see you grow up. And of course, the kid was like, no, if you did that, I would not, you would have not like raised me properly or some shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it is a culture of ours where a lot of times a lot of parents will go abroad, leave the family behind, send money over, but of course the kids wouldn't have like a mother figure or father figure at home. It is a very tough situation.
Yeah, and that's why it says if you're away that long, like with the son's like, technically I am his father, but in the papers and in his heart, not really. No.
Yeah.
Again, this movie has a lot of like, damn, this is thought provoking.
It was very thought provoking.
Yeah.
Like, woo. Some points, like, do you even want kids?
Right? Like, maybe I should just, be myself. Be myself.
Maybe a dog will suffice.
Right? But yeah, Alan makes it up to Bri. He brings him, was Was it Liam or Crispy Pata?
Just but
Yeah, like no, it's not healthy, but this man's sibling fights.
Feud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feuds. It's like I am sorry for the things I have done and for the things I have not done, and that kept you for doing things you did not do as well.
Yeah. Cry number 2. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because like Agamu like was just like when he starts to tear up, I was like, stop, just stop, like no, just wipe the tears.
and Brian's like, you're my idol. I always wanted to be like you. Like, well, you did more than that.
Yeah, you suppressed it for
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
And
And,
when he calls him queer, like, oh, okay, damn.
Yeah, because I mean I could see it. Like Brian felt like more of the responsible Kuya type. Of course, we're trying to take out the norm of like, oh, it's not just the eldest son who has to do all the work.
Yeah.
That has changed here a little.
Yeah, they do make up. That'd be weird.
Hey, what movie did you watch?
And then they go to Dex and they're like, hey, we're alright, even though you have legal troubles. I don't know how they
Yeah.
solve that. I'm sure Brian helps though.
I guess they went with the option that I suggested, which is the most sensible one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were kind of like, hey, whatever problems you have, we're already in it with you.
Yeah.
When the ship sank, we were there with you, so it's fine.
And then we move over to Josh's place and she's not doing the best. Oh, she
Yeah,
did the
like-
best.
Yeah, like Dad was the one who usually did my projects. Dad was the one who would like say, "Oh, I didn't need to finish my food," or Dad was the one who would fix the sink.
Yeah.
But well, Dad was a cheating son of a bitch, so he ain't here no more. So shut up.
And then they all come to her house and like, we'll be their dads. We got 3 dads right here.
Yeah, and it was a very sweet.
Yeah.
And then cry number 3 came because you just see Manalo at his grave,
Oh, no,
at the
before
grave of his wife.
That,
Oh,
before that, Bri gets to finally meet the son. And
oh yeah.
yeah.
Very handsome boy, bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
Pretty much the thing.
And then they have lunch and Alan's like, I guess we'll wait in the car. Shit, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
You could bring the Land Cruiser. That thing had aircon.
right? Unless they all awkwardly eat in the same place. Like, I hope Brian's doing okay. Hope he doesn't see me though.
Yeah, they're like, damn, that Chinese food looks good.
Right?
But yeah, then we get to cry number 3. And it's pretty much just the dad looking over the grave of his wife and just talking to her and saying like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I lied to my kids. And I don't know what it is, but when I see old men cry over their wives' graves, it hits me hard, like a son of a bitch.
I think it's you left too soon. You didn't even teach me how to be a mom to them. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck.
And the man starts to, like, Manala starts to break down, and I was like, no!
Yeah, this movie hit me hard the first time watching. I'm like, why am I crying?
Yeah.
At midnight, fuck.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, can you just take me away? And Josh's like, wait, we're not done. We need you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it was and sure, they knew that he wasn't gonna die, but they still kept their promise of like giving him a eulogy before he does die.
Yeah.
And it was very sweet. I don't memorize it word for word, but all I know it was very sweet.
Yeah, Dex like, I'm sorry I pushed you away. I should have been there for you as well. And Alan's like, we were so caught up with our own lives and our own troubles that we forgot you. Sorry.
They forgot one more. Well, it was dad, and I forgot what Brian was, but he's an asshole, so I don't care. Again, the character, not the actor.
Yeah.
Ding Dong's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
Very handsome man, very reading.
And then after the eulogy, the dad's was like, he can fetch me now. They're like, no, not yet.
I was like, no. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. And then they go back to ABCD and they confront other Mr. Kim and they pull a Guardians where they're dancing off. Like, okay.
This was the questionable part of the movie.
Yeah.
This was the one I was like, this is actually a pretty good family movie. And then this scene came up, and I was like, huh?
Right?
I'm sorry to say, this movie was like going at a high, like a moderate pace. Like, it's not the best family movie out there, but it was going at a pretty good pace until the ending, where it just
For me,
dips
it just
horribly.
plateaus. It's like,
No, for me, like the gravesite, sorry, where they visit the mom, was the plateau, and then I was like, that's it. It was a pretty good movie. You could have ended it there. And I was like,
Yeah, especially
yeah.
when it does like KSP stands for what did you say? Kulang sa pamilya.
Kulang sa pansit. Ah, yeah, kulang sa pamilya.
And then the
And
guy
then,
starts
and then the
crying.
Korean dude, this made me laugh though. I was like, this dude just got hit. I was like it's a kid who got like war flashbacks,
Yeah.
or like they reawakened some past trauma.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Kid's going to therapy because of you, Manalo. Thank you.
And
But yeah,
he starts crying, and the Filipino workers are like, "Well, this is weird. This is a waste of time. I guess we're going home."
yeah, it was such a weird ending, which kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Not really ruined the whole movie, but like, the momentum was just lost.
Like if it just cut from the grave scene to like them having, like next Sunday, having like family breakfast, that'd be fine.
Yeah, like sure you could add on the ABCD, like just a shot of it, like oh yeah, they added Dexter's name to it,
Yeah.
and um, like and they could have just probably eaten at the house or something.
Yeah.
It was a good ending. I don't know. Not
Yeah.
a screenwriter here, but like
This is an example of like I don't know what we were thinking of the ending.
yeah, you could have ended it right there. You know.
Yeah, we were also like, all right, it's time for the tears to dry, and then you're like, what the fuck's happening?
Exactly. I was like, huh?
Yeah. But we've reached the end of the movie, and what would you rate this? Since we're building up to it anyway.
Yeah. I would give this one an above average score. I'm giving it like a 6.5. I'm giving it the 0.5 because there were moments where I was like, these are actually like you kind of have to stew a bit with the dialogue that they have here. Like it makes you think.
Yeah.
It really does. These are family traits, the good and the bad, that actually exist. And I'm like, damn. And it makes you really think about the situation and other families as well. The actors were great. Ronaldo Valdez was an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Everybody else, Enrique Hill, relatable. Aga Mulak, I thought you were just the ice cream man. I didn't know you had acting chops.
Right.
And then Christine Reyes, she was a model, but she did a really good job here. At some point, she kind of smiled and was like, it was a little bit weird for me when she was like passing the food. I was like, okay, you're overselling it.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of corny parts. Not just the ending. There were a lot of corny parts from here to there where you're like, eh.
Yeah.
But I would say though that the dialogue alone does, carry this movie. The ending, that just ruined it. I would have given this one a 7, but the ending was just very bad. So it's a 6.5.
Actually, I'll just give this a 7. Like, it's good, but like that ending, you're like, what's happening? Why is it so drying? Why? How? Why? Like, I guess you had to resolve that issue, but you didn't really resolve the issue of like, hey, Dex, you're being hunted down. What do we do now?
The case of Dexter.
Like he's dancing on the street, and the police are like, isn't he wanted right now?
Like the dad's co-workers just come and take him away.
Like, sorry, Cap. But yeah, as you said, good performances across the board. Like, some are overacting, but like I believe the dialogue, especially like the hard-hitting one chick that really does pull on the heartstrings. It's a good family movie should be. It's just that again, the fucking ending. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of fucking, like they kind of went to a dark turn when Dex and Brian were saying "fuck you," and I'm like, I was like, oh, it's this kind of movie now. It's like taking to a dark. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like watching Logan. Well, the Wolverine and something becomes X-Men Origins. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that has been our video on 7 Sundays. What do you guys think? What's your favorite Filipino family movie? Comment below. Maybe we'll do those two next Independence Run.
Yeah.
Well, you can find us at facebook.com/geeks and degenerates. We react to trailers. We stream about games and our lives. We might have an interesting game coming up, right, Jamar? Bioshock.
Oh, right. Wait, no. Shut up. Yeah. I forgot.
Just,
It was free on
not.
Epic Games, so we might stream it.
Yeah. Individually, you can find me at Yandalphus1995 on IG and Twitter. How about you, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot my responsibilities. I'm the one supposed to stream that. But yeah, you can find me at JohnGOM on Instagram. It is my art account.
Alright. Please remember to stay safe, wear a mask, social distance, and get vaccinated if you can. Get your booster for fuck's sake. And we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.